Hello, hello, beautiful evening in here. The sun's shining through the plants. You can see the shadows on me. I'd like to finish off this little bit at the top and the bottom. I'm going to do a little bit different than what my original plan was, which was these were the original freehand, and I changed it to 3D boxes. I mean, it's up to you what you want to do, right? We will be doing this pattern in the next lesson. Today, we're just going to do up here. Now, this one had the 3D large, not 3D, 2D large hexagons with the little pie pieces, making them smaller and smaller and smaller. And these were more freehand. Same with here, the big ones, and then going smaller and smaller. So if you'd like to do that, you can, feel free. What I am going to do with you here is, I think for this one, I'd like to follow the grid still and make these into 2D and then going into the triangles that break off. So let's just keep going with our pattern here. So going up there, but instead of making them into 3D, let's do the pie piece like what I did in the other one that I just showed you. So these are going to change from 3D to 2D, trying to manipulate the line a little bit because it didn't go quite through the center. But remember, it's about organic and progress, not perfection, right? The organic look. So from here, I'm just going to work on my lines and start lining these two hexagons at the top. I think I'm doing okay. I found my little ruler, so it's a little bit easier to maneuver a little one. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep using this little guy for these ones. Definitely makes it faster. Although it is good practice to do the freehand. That's for sure. So like so, and this one. Do I have it zoomed in? No, sorry about that. There we go. So I have a few there. Let's do the pie piece parts. So this will be freehand, just taking a triangle in the middle. Now some of them can be filled in and some of them can be dots. I think I'm going to fill mine in. I do like some solid black in there. It matches the vortex. Even if we wanted to, we could make these edges solid black, which might actually really be a nice way to stand out from this type of cube. But we can decide that later. Let's do this one in solid black as well. The little pie pieces. Getting a little bit dark. Sorry if I'm darker today than usual. It is evening right now. Beautiful evening in July 3rd today, I believe. I'm going to do all of these solid black pie pieces. Okay, and moving up, let's continue with a few. I'm not going to do all of them now. I'm going to draw one triangle here and one up here, because I'm petering them off and going a little bit creative, which will make it fun and organic looking. Into this little corner here, we can't forget the little corners, and taking the pie pieces, and I'm going to have them coming off a little bit as well without the lines around them. So this one's just kind of fun and organic. Let's put another one in here. Another one in here. There we are. Might want to clean it up a little bit, spend some time on the edges and the corners and making sure it's all filled in properly and that they look relatively even and that the triangles inside follow the lines of the triangles outside. We're not computers, but we still want it to look like you've put effort in, not just rushed through it. Bring this one up a little bit and this one down. This one down. This is using the creativity. And when you're ready to just erase the grid lines without wrecking your page like I did at the bottom. Remember when I was erasing and I went, oops, and I still have that little crease down there. But that's okay. It happens, right? So erase carefully, especially with the big eraser and on the corner as well. Cool. All right. I like that. Kind of brings some simplicity into it. You can always make it more complicated later. And even adding designs into these to make them darker. I might just go in with a pencil actually and darken these up. Maybe later we can make them blacker. And you can also use a black pencil crayon too. I also believe that it is a bit of a glare. Okay, almost done this part. So that's the first part. And the second part is down here. So taking the same idea for continuity. It'll help the eye move around the page if we have something similar up there. And we have done the same thing, like we did a vortex up here, a vortex down there, infinity box down there, and a couple down here. So it's got this continuity. So taking the pen and a ruler if you like. That one's a little thicker. There are such things as regular hexagons where all the sides are the same length. And then there are, those are equilateral, I guess, hexagons. And then there are irregular hexagons where the sides aren't the same length. They're not equal angular either. They don't have the same angles. And that's maybe more like, well, some of you may be really lucky and have perfect hexagons, but I think for us, we're going for the more organic look. So that one I only have, let me back up here. I only have a few up there and then it breaks off. This one, I think I'm going to do a couple more. Let's see, let's maybe go down to this one and then I can break it off in a different way. I'll break some off in here. I think that would look good. That one's not perfect, but that's okay. Irregular, right? It's supposed to be like that. And I'll do these ones. Great. Now marking the, zooming down a little bit, marking the insides with the little pie pieces, the little triangles. Having fun with it, putting joy into it, loving our picture the way it's coming along, and not giving up, you know, like having this determination to finish. There's always a point in an art piece where you think you're done, and maybe you do think you're done and you just aren't into this and you want to just finish. That is okay. But to get an extraordinary art piece, if you want to really go the distance, it just matters how much effort and energy you put into it, how much love you put into the details, how much attention you give it will make a difference. It's one thing I really like to encourage. Just focusing on all the details and not giving up. That's why I have this course in short little increments, so it's not overwhelming. You can do this with me every day. And at the end, you'll get better and better at drawing, first of all, and you'll have this amazing art piece that you've done with your hand that will look different than mine. Sure, it'll have a similar flair to it, similar style, but it will be your own. You do not need to tag me if you post it. It's yours. You can tell people they can draw this too and to follow my instructions. That would be nice. Pass along this video where you learned this. Spread it. Because drawing is like a meditation, and why deny people this meditation? Something that they can do to feel in a meditative state and also be proud of themselves for learning a skill. This hand-eye coordination. All right, so I've got my pie pieces there, a little bit more than I have at the front, at the top. And let's just break it off now into a couple of triangles. I'm going to put one here. Maybe break off a couple pieces. Let's put a triangle there. And ones are so right below each other, so I want to sort of break it up. Bringing in some of the other line work here. Random, you can be random with it. I'm sort of not following the grid as much here because I want to go my own way. Great. If we want to add more details later, we can do that. Maybe a little guy there. And the last thing to do today is to take the eraser. There it is. And gently erase the pencil marks. Great job. Awesome. All right, let's back this up, see what we got. There we are. Cool, love it. So we're almost there. Next class is going to be a little bit longer one. We're going to do these two patterns here, and then we'll work on the top and the bottom. Okay, so we're almost there. Stay with me. We got this. Good job.